What's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
Good. Season
Welcome
3.
to season 3. Woo!
Back again.
What's up? So, it's so nice to see you guys. What's going on? How have you guys been?
Just chilling.
Chilling, yeah? Y'all looking
I have
good.
my natural hair now.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Y'all, you've been so expensive in the past episode. It's okay to look down, baby.
Yeah. Natural hair.
Come on, bro.
Come on, man.
Why? What's that?
Yo, did you guys hear about this Neymar thing? False accusations.
Who's
Neymar?
Neymar? I don't watch football.
You don't watch football?
Guys, I don't watch
Do you know who Ronaldo is?
Where is
Yeah,
he
of
from?
course, I know Ronaldo.
What?
Where is he from?
Brazilian.
He's Brazilian.
PSG.
Guys, don't be dwas, man.
Anyway, the whole point is that he was falsely accused of rape. And this happens so often. You girls.
I saw the video on Twitter. That shit was disgusting.
I saw it on Instagram.
But how would someone just wake up and say you wrote me?
No,
No,
but
it was a
she,
video.
she took him to the room and then she set up a camera
It was
and
a
then
room,
she started
actually.
Trying to
beating
provoke him,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that he could beat her, so she would have evidence, but he didn't beat her. So
I feel like it's a challenge with celebrities most times. They want to use find a way to tarnish your image.
Not
and
just
then
celebrities.
over.
Females are vindictive. I don't think so.
But I've never been in that situation before where a lady is.
what does she want?
Say
What
something.
is she gonna gain from that?
Well, she just
Popularity.
said that
Destroy
as
your
well.
life.
She just said, he just said that it's not only with celebrities.
No, it's not limited to celebrities.
I feel
You
like
have an
if-
experience with someone with
It happened to someone I know twice in the space of 6 months.
Who's the guy?
Yeah?
okay, this person, who's person?
Who is this dude?
Are we blaming on the women here?
That's the point. We're trying to blame the women.
No, I don't have a problem with that. The problem is, after you found a guy to be innocent, nothing happens to the woman. You nearly ruined someone's life, and no consequence.
Yeah, I feel like society kind of take things with ease when it comes to ladies.
Not
What do
really.
you complain about?
Yes,
Not
but
really.
with guys,
Yes, actually.
it becomes like a serious deal, like a big deal, and then once punish us and stuff.
When you talk about the justice system, yeah, but like nowadays there are movements that want to give jail time to people who falsely accuse for rape because that's a very disgusting crime. Like, why would you
doesn't
accuse
make any
someone?
sense.
Do you know what rape is? And then you
Yes,
want to
so
accuse someone of
What
doing
is
that to
rape?
you?
But
What
how
is
would
rape?
the girl take the guy to the room?
What is rape?
Trying to
When you
fake
force
up
yourself
story.
onto someone,
When you force yourself onto someone,
you're not consensual.
consent.
Yeah.
You guys did not dig this matter because I can't just wake up today and be like, okay, Charles, let me take you to this room and
He's
start
a
talking.
footballer. He's a
is
footballer. She's gonna make serious bank if she sues him for beating her up. But
And she makes a lot of money from it.
How is it possible? Like, I just can't wake up today and go.
Oh, they're friends, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're in
they're
a
fine.
relationship.
Oh, in a relationship.
For example, me and Jane, like, we hook up, we go on a date. Do you know what I mean? We have drinks, we go to my house, we do things. The next morning, she wakes up, she regrets. She says, "I rap out." Would you say that I would have raped you, or
now that's false accusation.
who? Her accusing me?
Her, yeah, she
Why?
false because she gave you consent.
That's the same thing that happened to
Whatever.
them. No, you didn't give consent. Nobody knows. You know
She
what I mean? When
gave
you're drunk
consent.
and you want me, can you drunk sex?
Wait, what do you mean? Like she's drunk? Like she's
Well-
wasted?
Okay then, all right. Cool.
Okay, guys, but in this situation, it was a setup basically.
Yeah,
Well, it's all good. I just feel like guys should be more careful.
yeah, definitely.
That's the basic thing.
Everybody should just be so careful.
So, guys, topic for today, based on what would I say now? Based on some personal shit. Yeah. I feel like parenting in Africa is, I wouldn't say faulty because I don't know about your backgrounds. Do you understand? Some people were raised like really nice and everything, but I wasn't raised like that. Do you understand? So, like, the topic is parenting in Africa, growing up in Africa. So, let me put it out. Start a discussion. How can you describe your growing up, your childhood experience? What was it like? In a sentence or two, just let us know. Yeah. You're from where? Remind us.
I'm from Zimbabwe.
Okay. Could you speak for yourself and also for Zimbabwean people? I don't know. Okay, he's also lives in Zimbabwe. So
Not really.
Go on. Go on.
For me, I had a pretty good childhood. My parents catered for me for every day. I never experienced any hardships or anything. Up until now, everything has been okay. I've been raised well. Grew up in a good environment, and honestly, cannot complain.
And as a
But then, unfortunately, as you know, with every society, every country, you realize that there are some people unfortunate enough to have those opportunities. Some are forever grateful for having those opportunities. There are some people who cannot afford to, who haven't been afforded to go to school. So, yeah, in Zim, it's the same situation. I guess it's the same situation in all countries where there are some people who can afford the basic necessities, and there are some who are not affording those basic necessities. So, that's the
Great.
My childhood was fun and adventurous.
You from where again?
I'm Zambian. I'm proud of it actually. I can't complain much about my childhood. All my memories are good actually.
That's nice.
and that's it. It's just dope.
Yeah.
Nice. Fun.
Okay.
Fun stuff. Well, my childhood was...
She's Nigerian, right?
Yeah, I'm Nigerian. My childhood was very interesting. It had like... I was raised by my grandparents and my mom at the same time. Like, I would live with my grandparents and then I'd live with my mom. And yeah, so it was like two different techniques of raising a kid.
If you don't mind me asking, what's your dad?
I have no idea where my father is.
Okay.
Yes. So it was I think my grandparents, since they're old, obviously they had like more traditional ways of dealing with a kid. And then my mom, she was 18 when she had me, so she was really young and she's fun, that kind of thing. So I think it made me an interesting person.
What are you smiling at? Tell us.
Okay, my childhood was okay too.
Where's you from?
Where are you from again?
I'm from Zambia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I went to this school. When I was in primary school, I had like a couple of friends, and I had this one friend that used to collect money so much from me. Like,
From you?
yeah, like he's a
So
guy.
you were like rich or something?
He's a guy.
He's a guy. And,
You are Zimbabwean, right?
huh?
You are Zimbabwean, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Zimbabwean.
No, he's the guy. The guy.
What's you?
She's not even let's say about Zimbabwe.
Nothing.
No, he was
Okay,
like,
let's hear how.
it's primary school, so like he accused me like, no, he took something from my bag and I should give him money. Like, okay, different scenarios, and at some point I just got so angry and I poured out everything on him. He was my friend, yeah. And then, from then he stopped. It was fun though, and then I went to another school. The school was really awesome.
And with your
Great.
parents, what was it like? With
My
your parents?
parents, okay, with my parents, it was okay. They were so supportive. Whenever it comes to school, they are supportive.
Let's hear the truth.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Let's be
Let
candid,
me
yeah.
let her say.
Let's be real.
Let's be real, yeah.
Yeah.
Growing up was kind of interesting, right? To say the least, I was really blessed. I lost my mom when I was 4. That's Evelyn right there. And
So
then
rest in peace.
that's all right. And then my dad, a year later, died because of depression. It was it affected him a lot. And then we're like dead broke, man. We're like dead broke. But then I got like 2 years later, I got adopted by this Norwegian lady. Her name is Trinelise, right? Gave me the life that I enjoyed, you know what I mean? Blessed, you know what I mean? I feel like I didn't deserve what I got growing up, because to be honest, man, life was really blessed and it should have been really hard. But yeah, my childhood was blessed, but tough and real. Yeah.
Okay, my childhood was spoiled. I got everything I wanted, and it made me dependent. That's the negative side of it. I understand parents wanting to give their kids everything that they didn't have, but once you give them too much, especially men, makes them boys. It keeps them boys for a while. Just put it that way. Yeah. The girls I understand. The guys, it's not a good thing. It takes you a while to understand what life is about.
Okay, for me, yeah. I think we have a similar story.
Innit?
Yeah. sort
Stop
of,
copying me, bro. That was like legit, you know what I mean?
Okay, I would say it was interesting up until I was 10 years old. And I lost my dad when I was 10.
Sorry
And,
about that.
yeah, it's cool. And then afterwards, it became terrible. Like really bad. Like really bad. I remember this case, my dad used to promise me, we're gonna travel to, is it called Ireland?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna travel there and get this appointment, yeah. We're gonna travel there, and I was really dreaming. I had like this dream, everything was gonna be fine, better than it was. And then all of a sudden, everything went crashing, you know. And after that time, I had to live with my dad's sister. Do I wish my parents were there for me growing up? Obviously, every child wants their parents to be there for them growing up. It would have, I think, if my parents were there for me growing up, it would have changed like a lot, positively, about my life. Yes, they might have been stereotypical as well, like being African parents and all that stuff. But still, the love I would get from both parents would be awesome. And I didn't really like live with them, my parents, for throughout my teenage years. And this was like the most important life parts of like one's life. But if they were together, alive, it would be awesome. They were cool, but it wouldn't be like your parents. Do you understand? It can't be like you're living with your own mom and your dad and your siblings. I was away from them for like 5 years. So it wasn't like interesting all the way. They gave me school, they gave me education, they gave me food, they gave me everything. It also became sour again because I didn't know if I was going to go to uni or not. Because the way
Was uni everything for you? Was it the dream?
It was like
was it like stereotype?
In Africa, if you're finished from primary school, secondary school, you should go to uni for a proper child from a proper family. Do you understand? So it was something that was meant to be. I was supposed to have it. Like, it was my right. Do you understand? And at that point, it went bad again because they weren't sure if they were going to send me to school or not. So I had to leave and then go back to my mom again. And then I went to school. I could say I went to uni taking care of myself. Yes, my first degree. It's been tough. It's been tough since then till now, basically.
I feel like this episode is like a get to know the cast of.
Yeah. Like it's really touchy because oftentimes I see people chilling, having everything, and sometimes I say to myself, I wish my life was like this. I wish I had everything going on for me. I'll probably do better. But up until when he said that if you have everything, you don't grow up.
I'm gonna say something. I used to envy people that I see could do things by themselves.
Bro, I envy
Wow.
you.
Yeah, see, I'm like, how is this guy at such a young age able to go and do this and do that and do that? I mean, I have no experience. I've never had to fight for anything. I've never had to. Nothing. Everything I want, if I just ask for, is there. So it took a while, and if you try something and you fail, that's it. You're not gonna try again. Like, fuck it. I don't need to do this shit. My mom has 2 jobs.
But can I just say something? Like when I lost my parents, it changed my life, like the way I see life. Because when my mom died, I was with her, and she said that she's going. Literally translated to like I'm going, and then white foam coming out of her mouth. The interesting part was when my dad had the whole depression thing. What lessons did I take from my parents' death and depression? Well, what I learned from my parents' death was certainly there's life after death. Do you know what I mean? Like, because my mom said she's going, she didn't say she's dying, she's not ceasing to exist, meaning that in that very moment in time there's something that she could see, but she could not live to say it. So the sad thing about life is that, and death is that death is another chapter, but we cannot live to tell people, and then that depression can also kill. That's why I got my mind, that's why I got my peace. Yeah. Got so sick, and then you say things that you're gonna go to uni, gonna have trouble like choosing where you wanna go and stuff like that. And at that time, he was being taken care of by his sister, my aunt, and they'll make fun of him. You know what I mean? Like, your dad is crazy, like in my face and type of thing. When he died, that's when everything that he said started happening. Do you know what I mean? That changed my philosophy of life. Do you know what I mean? Like that was like prophecy on another level, and in a sense, that just made me distance myself from like my relatives, because they have that stereotypical way of raising up kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I see how other people are raised. Sometimes it's really weird. You know what I mean? People are raised confined, without free thinking. If you're not an engineer, doctor, or a teacher, or a lawyer, you're a failure in life. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's why, like, big ups to Jay-Z for being a millionaire. At least he's giving us a chance to show people that you can make money with this lights, camera, and all this action. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a billionaire. Sorry, pardon me. Exactly. Sorry, Uncle Jay-Z. Sorry. Sorry.
So that kind of brought me to like the next thing we should talk about, because how we've been raised in the family. I lived with my guardian during the teenage stage of my life, up until my youth stage, also the guardian. And it was a pastor. He is a pastor, still a pastor. And the wife is like a pastor as well. So I don't know if you have an idea what it's like being raised by a pastor. Yeah. There are some things you're going through as a teenager. You're growing up, you're evolving. There are things you're doing with your friends. There are things you're talking about with your friends. Yeah. Well, you can't talk about it with them. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have the same problem. Being free to talk about stuff that you're going through as a teenager with your parents. What you guys have to say about that? Were your parents like really chill? Could you talk to them about everything?
No, they were not that open-minded. So most of the stuff I had to learn through friends more by myself, or just generally experiences. Because if you, as you said, let's say growing up, if you had to talk about hormones and being attracted to people, whatever, for them it's taboo. So at times you find, what's it called? You're more comfortable to talk about it with your friends because they're also relating to it. Because if you go back to your parents or your family members, they'll find it taboo or it's inappropriate. So
my parents have always been rather close-minded ever since I was growing up. So I never got the opportunity to really open up to them and just tell them my personal experiences, because some of my experiences that I went through, they would call them taboo. So I never felt comfortable enough to talk to them about it. So I would always find being more comfortable talking to my friends more than talking to my parents, because I would want to keep up with that good boy image of, okay, he's getting straight A's in school, he's doing good behavior-wise. But some things that I wish my parents had told me about and talked to me about, I never got that experience, so I never had the opportunity to open up, because already they were giving off that standoffish personality of, this is what I want you to do it, this is how we want you to do it, but I never really got to really express myself to them. So, yeah.
I felt like generally what I've noticed with African parents is that they're generally kind of like close-minded. Most of the time they're close-minded, so at times I wish they were more open-minded and listen to their kids. And you find out maybe some of the mistakes that these kids are making today, at least if they had been, the parents had been open enough to talk to them and tell them like, yo, this is the right way to handle it, maybe they would have avoided those things. So that's the problem, the major problem that I feel like with African parents.
Personally, I was not raised in a traditional setting. Therefore, for me, if I went and addressed my parents, it was okay. But because I'm the last born and the youngest, when I asked, they always told me, "No, you're too young for that thing." We're gonna tell you later on. That's the response that I got. They were open to it and such. Like him, I can relate. I too they handed everything to me. I was sheltered very much, very free, which is why I said it was fun and adventurous. But then, the older I grew, I could see that not everybody was like me, and I did not understand why. They sheltered me so much that when I saw somebody else in a different situation, I would sit back and think about it, like, how come? Why can they not do what I am doing? Be it maybe walking to a store and I can buy this, and then maybe they're cautious Has my perspective been shaped by how I was raised? To some extent, yes. But then again, I'm kind of happy that I was raised in such a way or manner. It was never traditional or too Western. It was just in between. I'm able to dabble in between, whichever feels right or wrong. Yeah. I was given the freedom to dabble each side. I feel as though it even actually helps my perspective, actually. Whereas I could have been raised one way and I could have been narrow-minded. I'm more open to things that are happening around me.
Maybe the only things that I know are like the good parts of life. Whereas there are different situations happening around me. I would have liked to have been aware of all of that.
So can
I'm
I ask
more
you a
of a
question?
thinker than, a speaker. So I would sit back and I would think and I'm like, okay, why?
Sorry, I didn't ask you a question. I was still on that. So when you got on the island and it's varsity time and you're all by yourself, did you have like a wake-up call say, oh, now I'm by myself, I don't have my parents, I'm not dependent on them anymore, I have to take care of myself?
In as much as they may have sheltered me,
Yeah.
like he said, I envied
Did you feel
the
the drastic
fact that,
change?
No, it was not different. I envied the fact that other people could do what they please. I was like, okay, now I can do that too. So, it's my time to show them that I'm growing. This is the only chance I have. I cannot just feel like, oh, mom and dad are going to do it. No. Even if they can do it, I myself have to say, even if they can do it, let me try and do it by myself.
Exactly.
That's the only time that I can.
Well, I don't know where to start. I didn't grow up like you. I didn't have everything. I was on the other side. I was
You look
that
spoiled,
kid.
though.
What?
You look spoiled.
That's the thing.
You spoiled yourself.
Listen.
Hi, would you like to further your education? Are you tired of looking around for universities? Would you like to study abroad? Here is the solution for you. We can help you. And what do? We help you get enrolled to universities across the globe. Suggest the best universities for your career path. We give you multiple options to choose from. We provide you with tips to get admitted. All you need to do is contact us.
Basically, my mom was in and out of school. She had to go to school when she had me. So I lived with my grandparents until I was 10. And we lived in the village kind of setting.
We lived in the village.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Imagine.
I can't believe
Can
it.
you imagine?
So planning, looking over.
Yeah, but the thing is, whenever my mom would come home, she had an accent that sounds like mine. So I look at her and I start to pick up things. Like she was my role model growing up as a kid. I would just look at this one and I'm like, I want to be exactly like you. So she was so cool. So when I play with the kids, no, what she passed away last year.
Oh, sorry, bro.
When I play with kids, I wasn't like them, but we were in the same social class, until I went to boarding school when I was 10, and then I was thrown into a whole different setting, things I'd never seen before, rich kids, spoiled kids, and I wanted to be like them. Like, I was like, what do you have that I don't have, and why don't I have it? So I didn't understand, like, these kids were spoiled right from when they grew up. I just thought I wasn't lucky enough to have what they had. And then my mom got married. She married this very open-minded person, very free. So when I went to live with them, he groomed me to be very open-minded. He's an atheist. So basically my perspective on life changed. And then we started getting money. Now I'm looking at myself and I'm like, okay, what can I do with this? I started to spoil myself, I would buy things that I like for myself and then my mom would spoil me. So eventually I started to understand the life of having and knowing when to spend, when not to spend. And then when we reached our peak, let me say, like, she had a very good job and I was able to come to school and stuff like that. Now I look back and I don't even understand how I was broke or when I was poor, because now it's just like I'm okay,
What if you were to go broke again?
I would know how to take care of
I'm
myself.
gonna say something. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, only if you've been in the deepest valley do you really appreciate the magnificence of the mountain's peak. Yeah, so when you're at the top, you don't really understand, you don't appreciate anything. Like you said, chill. Everyone is everyone is different, right?
Yeah.
You came here, you wanted to do something. So when I left school, I left home, when I was 17, I was
You say when you got married?
no. When I left,
Sorry. Was I the only one who heard that?
I heard that.
Hey, okay, cool.
when I left home, I was 17. I was in England. I was by myself.
Why did you leave home?
You went to England,
Oh,
bro?
you went to school.
I went to school. Yeah,
In England?
yeah.
You ran
Why
away.
you here in Cyprus then, fam?
It's a long story.
Sorry.
I wanted to try everything I couldn't before. Drugs, partying. There's a period, 2 years I didn't go to university. 2 years I didn't go to school. There's drugs.
Imagine.
Exactly. So everyone is different. Everyone.
I disagree to the point that, growing up, I was very generous. They raised me that way. I would pack my clothes and I say, Daddy, I want to keep this away. I would pack everything.
Yeah.
Even when I got older, people took advantage of me because I would give and give and give because to me it was right. It took a lot for me to realize that people were using me and it was not okay. But then even if I had all that, I still wanted to give out. I wanted to experience what they were experiencing, even if I could not. Even bathing and the dishes, I never got to do that. I would envy that. I just did not know that
You
was
would envy
tradition.
people doing dishes.
No, like how they bath children in like the dishes.
Oh,
I
okay,
never
okay.
got that. I envied that.
Wow.
I did, really.
You didn't miss anything, let me tell you.
No, but it looked cool to me.
Yeah.
Tiny things that I wanted to experience, but I just did not understand.
Yeah.
But I never forgot that I could give, and I never let it get to me.
I'm saying, different people react to different situations.
Yeah.
Same situation,
I
different.
think you are more spoiled than I was.
I like to give as well, and yeah, people take advantage of me. I still do to this day, but when I do it, I don't care. I don't think too much about, okay, this guy using me. I'm doing it because I want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only way to survive in reality.
I
You
don't
can't
help
think
people
too
no
much.
more. I don't.
You have to.
It
Why?
backfires, fam.
Nah, not necessarily.
It always does.
It blesses. Trust me.
Yeah, actually.
It does bless,
It
but
blesses you more.
okay, we go like this. You come to me, okay? Go on.
Okay.
So tell us, what was it like for you? What were like
For
this
me, it
parenting
was-
like?
For
Parenting.
me, right, it was before,
Yeah.
like me and my siblings, and we have like cousins who grew up with us. That my sisters and brothers. So for me, it wasn't really like we're this choosy and stuff like that. We all extended together. The same education they give to me, they're giving to them. Like my parents are open-minded people too. Like they'll tell you reality about life. Like this is how it is.
At what age were they able to tell you reality? Because she was saying like at some age, and being the last born, they told her, "Oh, we'll tell you later when you grow up." But what for you? What was at what age were they able to live free with you to tell you the real thing?
I think 12 or 11.
Really?
Yeah, because like
Sorry, what is the real
my
thing?
mom is
Like
like
I'm talking about
The birds and the bees.
real life,
That's
real
sex?
life. Like
No.
what it is to what it's like to hand money or sex education
Yeah.
or this kind of stuff. At
no,
what point?
they wouldn't talk about. They didn't tell me about sex education.
African parents always
But
avoid
they
that
told
topic.
me.
Yeah, they
But they told me about how to survive and how to like.
Are you serious?
What did they do to
Yeah,
you? What did they do to
they
you?
told me they told me you have to work for what you want. Like be creative. Don't just sit down and be down. Because like I would see some of my friends, they'll go to school and sell like all these pencils and stuff like that. So I'll go back home and be like, Mom, I saw some people selling things in school. Like why are they doing that and all that? And then she would explain to me, she'd be like, okay, maybe they're trying to get money and stuff like that and that. So I was trying to understand, and she kept on telling me, and she kept on like pushing the people that were older than me, and I learned from my cousins because they were older than me. From their mistakes, I learned a lot because when my mom is shouting at them or talking to them about life, I'll be there and I'll be listening to what they're saying. That's how I got most of my education about life. If I wasn't living with those people, trust me, I would have been very spoiled and been like, I don't give a fuck type. But because of all that, I learned a lot from them. Like, I learned a lot from them. Yeah.
Listen, you, what was it like parenting? Were they open-minded? Were they chill?
My foster mom was in Norway, man. I only saw her twice in my life because she's really old, so traveling to Africa could be hard. So what happened was that I'm the last of 7 kids, so I'm the last born, right?
7 kids from whom?
Same mom, same dad, from John and Evelyn.
Your
You
mom,
were 7.
your African parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened was that we raised ourselves, basically, you understand? So I would see like my older siblings, you know what I mean? So I would sort of like gauge it, and then I would think that we're the same, you understand? I actually thought, like, up until I got to varsity, I actually thought that none of them had sex. I actually thought that all my siblings were virgins, you know, even like my 36-year-old, even the ones with babies and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I never got sex education, you know. I was curious, but what my elder sister did tell me was like, if you ever gonna hit, bruv, wear a condom, right? That's why Pornhub taught me sex, because I went to a Hindu school for 6 years, and there were no rules. We had basic human values. You understand? We were taught every religion in the world, except for one religion, Satanism, because it opposes everything. So growing up, the whole system, the way I was raised, from how my mother died to everything, it made me question life. It made me question religion. You know what I mean? I have my religion, right? But it made me question religion because I would go to church, man, and then would have those youth prize and stuff like that, you know. So I would spend most of my money in high school on girls. So when the weekend comes, you know, I will not have money to pay for the youth prize, right? So they would make us stand in line, right? And then I didn't have the $5, and then they tell me that I cannot have what? The meat. And we're at church, bro.
What do you mean, man?
Walk down the road, I see like a Rastafarian guy offering me weed. You understand? I'm like, I don't take weed, man, but thanks for the respect, thanks for the love, thanks for everything. You know what I mean? You know, growing up like that, it was weird. But then now, as I grow up, and now as I'm considering to have kids, maybe in 2 years, right?
In 2 years?
Yeah, I'm a grown-ass man. I know I'm sexy, but I'm grown. So it makes me think like the way that generation brought us up and the way we're thinking right now, our kids are going to look at us as very backward. They're going to be like, do you know what I mean? But then, so with that being said, I feel like there's a level of cultural sense that we need to keep, or else we're gonna lose it, man. I'm an African man, and I cannot take the Western culture. That's a fact. Do you know what I mean? I cannot be diluted because I'll lose my roots. Do you know what I mean? There's certain things that I have to question, and I have to. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, man. Like, all I know is that there's certain things that we have to keep universal. Keep the love universal. Keep the hope universal. Keep the peace universal. And then we won't have any problem.
For me, yeah, 10 years. I've been expressing parenting between my mom and my dad. It was love. It was very smooth. It was nice.
Separate or what?
No, we were together until my dad passed away. We were together, and it was really nice. It was chill. My dad would come home from work. It wasn't medical doctor, so those are like shifts and stuff. And then we'd make that time when you give us Pepsi bottle, when only you as a child takes a full Pepsi bottle, it's a big deal. It's like Christmas. Because normally you won't get that. Do you understand? So it was really nice up until I lost him and I had to go live with my guardian. And they were like Christians, they were pastors. So I would say I kind of trained myself.
Yeah.
I legit trained. In fact, I trained myself. I wouldn't say I got anything from them aside the religious values. Oh, don't do this, don't lie, don't smoke. I do all of this shit right now, though. I do everything they said I shouldn't do.
Do they know, though?
They don't know. And
they're going to know after this episode.
Yeah,
though.
they will know. I don't care. But they probably know already.
Are they still in your life?
No, they're not in my life anymore.
Are they dead?
No, they're not dead.
So how?
They're just...
I Out of curiosity,
I understand, but well, they were supposed to send me through uni. They just felt like.
Did you
there was
fall
no
out?
need. I didn't fall out.
You speak of them like you fell out, like you
Yeah,
don't
it was like a
care.
fallout. I wouldn't say I literally fell out myself, but it was like a fallout. Like it just
So you
went
walked
south.
away. You
Yeah, not like I
found a
walked
way
away.
to-
I was a kid. I was probably 15. I finished secondary school at the age of 15, 16.
I'm sorry, is your mom still here?
Mom's still alive, yeah. But she couldn't take care of me. So I had to do everything myself. Train myself, develop my own values myself. Do you understand? But I would say, to some extent, I would say, it's not all by myself, but by the grace of God. Because I'm quite religious and spiritual, yeah? Because I feel like He had a plan for me, and I just walked in it. But trust me, I did all the worst things ever.
Sorry, Charles. Don't you think though that like we have like pressure? You know, like you might not like some of us. We might not really care about like how we were raised and how we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But don't you feel like we owe it to like the people that raised us to like be this character, be this good boy image? Do you know what I mean?
That's the point. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, do we feel like parenting in Africa is faulty? Do you feel like there are things that they should have done that they didn't do that has affected your life right now? That's what I
Everyone
feel
here.
like, yeah.
You guys have all had talks with your parents. I've never had any talk with anyone.
You never spoke to your parents, one-on-one, heart-to-heart feel.
My dad was never home, first and foremost. He was always busy. My mom, I never used to talk when I was a kid.
Okay.
Till I was 15 or so, I never used to talk.
And they
So
never like came to come to you
if
like
you try to
tell
talk to me, I won't respond. I'll just be watching TV or that's how I was.
Damn.
Yeah. Definitely. Experiences shape who we become eventually, good and bad. I had to learn a lot. It took me longer, but I did learn eventually through lots of mistakes and errors and stuff. Well, I learned.
And why are you not able to talk?
Or I'm not able to talk. I was extremely timid to a fault. I couldn't. I'd say I lacked self-confidence, put it that way. I was a chubby kid. Yeah.
He was spoiled.
Anyway, so I never really spoke to anyone about anything.
So how did you get your values and the way you behave?
Everything is on TV.
You learned from you got parenting from TV, apparently.
Isn't that
You
what?
got raised by how?
Isn't that what modern day is right
That's
now?
different.
Both parents are working, and the kids watch TV all day. They all grow up on TV.
Yeah,
So you
I
like-
agree.
I
Disney
felt-
Channel raised me.
Yeah.
But then see, that's
That's
how
why I act like a
stereotypical the
cartoon.
world would look at it. They'll think that because we're from Africa, we grew up in the village, you know what I mean? Like,
I grew
no
up in
puns
the village, then I
intended.
moved to the city.
No, I'm just saying, not you. I'm not talking about you.
I know, but I know what you mean by
Like, they'll be like, you
stereotype.
speak English. Like, where did you learn English?
That is just
Bitch, I
so-
got educated. You know what I mean?
You want to ask if there's anything you could change?
Yeah, if there was anything you could change about your parenting that you wish that, because right now, to some extent, I feel no, I'm good in terms of morals and everything and value. I don't know how other people perceive me, but I feel like within myself, there's moderacy to everything. I don't overdrink. I don't oversmoke. I don't, don't like overdo anything. I just like I put everything in moderacy. Just about, I don't know about other people. Maybe there's some instance in your life you wish that your parents were there for you, or they told you this earlier, and you wouldn't have been where you are right now, or gone through what you went through.
If anything changed, you wouldn't be who you are right now. But if I really wanted to change something, I wish I went to military school.
Wow,
That's
damn.
What would I
Wow.
have done for you?
Went to military school.
What would I have done for you? What would
Instill
have made it different?
discipline.
But you already didn't talk as a child. Then you want to go to military school.
Yeah, you'd be forced to do everything. Look, I want you to think. Imagine this, right? You don't talk, and they do everything for you.
I think it's not that though. Military, they train you to what? You have to have respect for people.
Discipline.
Speak when you're spoken to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have excelled in that. I believe so. Plus my size.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to.
What would you not have
Yeah.
done if you could change anything?
I could change anything.
If there was something like the parents had told you earlier, or advised you about earlier, would have made your life a bit better than it is right now?
You think?
Yeah.
What would I change about the way my parents raised me? I would just change maybe having a better relationship with my kids. Like, okay, I have a good relationship with my mom, not my dad, because, okay, we talk, yes, but it's not that strong. So I want my kids to have a better relationship with me and my husband. Yeah.
You're good. It's okay if you're good. No, it's really okay.
For me personally, I just feel that generally what I've noticed with African parents is that they should be more open-minded and communicate more with their kids.
Yes.
And allow kids just to be themselves. If your kid wants to go into arts, allow them to do arts. If they want to do science, allow them to do that.
If it's not engineering,
Yeah.
to be honest, my guidance right now, I feel like they think I am some terrible human being doing TV and being an actor and probably much later in the future I'll do sex scenes and they'll be like, oh, this boy went bad, he's a child of the devil right now, we're cast and binding the demons on him and stuff like that. So if you're not an engineer, you're not a doctor, then it's a problem.
If you think about it,
I feel like it's because of society and how society looks at success in a different way. If they feel like you're not a doctor, you're not doing all these basic courses and stuff like that, you're not successful. But African society.
It's
like,
because everybody
they're
raises
not
a child. You have like
open-minded.
15 people raising you. The woman next door, the aunt,
Honestly,
everyone
aunties,
has the same.
yeah.
I
Everyone
wasted
has an
12
opinion.
years of my life studying sciences.
Yeah.
Literally.
Same here.
I'm just gonna get that degree and never do it. Chuck it in the bag.
you need to take the time our parents grew up in into consideration. When they grew up, being a doctor, being an engineer, that was a tough thing,
It's a
right?
changed world.
Yeah, but
There's
no.
technology.
People don't
And
just.
they are present in this generation.
They
as well.
cannot-
They should
They
understand
see what's
that
happening.
parenting
You
should
need
change.
to. Okay, listen. I wanted to study psychology. My dad said it's a waste of time.
See?
Yeah? No, but chill. Someone cannot be a certain way for 40 years and you expect the person to change.
I'm saying
No, that's
what-
how you have to put yourself in their shoes. You will not in 10 years time your children will expect you to change and you'll be like, what? It will be difficult.
Well, if we're gonna move on to the newer generation, just finish up.
When if you look into theology,
Yeah.
okay, whether Christianity or any religion, when the prophets come, they target young ones. They're the ones more likely to listen and adapt. The old ones are stubborn, they're stuck in their ways. That's how it is. And that's how it is with our parents. You can talk to them, you can try. Some will try and they will try and adapt. Some they have to go through something bad, whether a really stubborn kid or something terrible, then they will try to change it. But regularly they will just be themselves, something they've been doing for years. That's how it is.
That's why I thought that now with our generation we have to change that.
Yeah,
You can
that's
try.
what I was gonna say. Like,
My fear for our generation will be too relaxed on our kids.
well, I feel like as much as we want
I
to
don't
adopt
think
the Western main ways of parenting our kids, being open-minded, and then we chilled, allow them to do whatever they want, to make them adults from the younger stages of their life and everything and suit themselves. I feel like for me, I want to keep the cultural values, like you were saying all the time, which is still, as Africans, that's what we're known for.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I feel like for me, I will still keep my cultural values, do you understand, and instill it in my kids as much as I want them to be independent and be free thinkers.
It's all about balance.
Yes, basically.
Well, I think it's important
What you guys think?
I think it's important that you raise your kids to be very, 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 very independent from like the jump, because you don't know the future. You don't know what's gonna happen. And if my mom
Exactly.
didn't raise me to be
like
who I am today, and now she passed, I wouldn't have been able to survive on my own the way I'm surviving right now.
You raise your kids the way you want them, fam. I think. So there's no fault with the African
She had her faults. Like she was open-minded, yes, but she wanted me to be that. She wanted my career to take that very structured path, like doctor, engineer. When I told her I was more creative, I wanted to write, I wanted to sing, I wanted to act, she didn't understand.
But don't you think
What I was
sometimes
saying.
parents leave their dreams through you? Maybe they wanted to
That's
be
exactly what she was
That's
doing,
like the
So they'll
because
force you to do something.
she
they
wanted
never
to
thought
marry a
of.
prince. She wanted to, yeah, and then she would tell me, "You have to marry a prince. You have to."
I'm a prince, by the way.
I'm a prince, though.
No, like seriously.
You were gonna say something.
We're talking
Faith.
about Prince Harry.
Quick question.
Well, let-
If okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, a question in the same The first one being, do you think your parents are fixated on what they know because of tradition?
What's asphyxiate?
They're stuck on their words. Like they're just stuck in what they believe in because of how tradition is set up.
If I could answer that question,
Yeah.
it's what it is. You grab your race by your environment as well, and the environment that we're in influences our lives basically. So they, of course, that's it. They, like you said, they want to live their dreams true. They want to live their morals true. Everything should be the same thing. They don't want you to go like sideways or anything. They want it to be like exactly the same thing, which is the problem we're facing right now because we are the newer generation where we're adopting stuff, Western stuff, technology, everything is changing, and we're trying to think differently. There is different sexuality now. 10 years ago, I don't know, it wasn't a big deal, but now it's happening. Kids are changing.
I hear you, but then my second thing is, with my parents, they were traditionally raised, I guess, and we were not.
That's
And
interesting.
now, when I look at tradition, it is foreign to me. I find it hard to understand certain things. You know, yes, it was there, but it was not enforced onto me. It's there. Do you want it? Do you not? I get where you're coming from, and I think it is important, but how far are you willing to go with tradition when raising a child?
I feel like you know, culture is very important. Sorry, Yusuf. I feel like culture is very important and history is very important. The things that we're saying that parents are not open-minded. If we look into history, it was there, but just not spoken or unknown. If you look into it, there could have been homosexuality 500 years ago.
There was almost.
Do you know what I mean? It's just that people were not talking about it or open to it. But then my thing is that I cannot be too open-minded and be American when I am full-blown Malawian, Zimbabwean, African, color view. You know what I mean? That's my point. So in essence, I'm agreeing with all of y'all, but I'm very much opposing all of y'all.
How do you mean? Opposing in what way?
It's very confusing. Do you know what I mean? I need
For me, I
to.
honestly feel that you can take the good stuff when it comes to African tradition, take the good parts that you want to instill in your kids.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to take everything and instill in them.
Everything, yeah.
Like, take the good parts that you personally
You know
feel
your
like.
parents also thought that everything we're doing for you, like, it's good. It's good.
I feel like parents should try to like notice their children, see what they love doing, like try to watch your child while the child is growing up. Try to know what that child loves to do more.
Can be worrying.
Yeah, because I feel like we all go different paths because maybe probably our parents don't know what we like doing.
What do you like doing?
Thanks. Don't ask me what I like doing, but I'm just trying to bring this idea up because
I want to ask a question in this line.
like what you still said, yeah, we're quiet and
You just got cut
watching
off,
TV
like you just
and
got
stuff
cut
like
off.
that.
Like,
If
shut
it's
up.
in my house, right, I will come and talk to you. If you don't talk, I hit you.
Ah,
You got Jay
Exactly.
when you were younger.
hiya.
Jane,
Think
I'll
every
ask you a
African
question.
Yeah.
You say you want to raise your kids to be how they are, what they like, whatever. In this age of homosexuality, your kid comes out gay or lesbian.
What's wrong with homosexuality?
There is
No, she
absolutely
hasn't said
nothing
anything.
wrong
Just
with
relax.
homosexuality.
Sissy,
And
relax.
I want to be
this
a
is
full
this
step,
is
but you know, okay.
This is a personal question to her because she
Just
wants
her.
she wants to raise her kid according to the kid. You know, the kid should be who the kid is.
I did not say according to
According to what they like, according to
No, I
what
just
they're
said-
interested in.
I say
You answer that question
like
she was
try
asking you,
to-
actually. I'm really interested.
okay, go ahead.
Your kid thinks they're gay or lesbian. Do you encourage it or do you shut it down? And how do you shut it down or how do you encourage it?
That's why I said you have to like watch your child and see what they like doing. I'm not like it's not like I'm gonna support what my child is going to do. I want to get to know my child. You understand? So I can be able to like if I want to train my child in this way and you are going a certain way, I have to know how to communicate with you. I have to build that relationship between me and my child.
I got you.
So it should
So
be
that's something
more
most
understanding.
most parents get too
Yeah.
busy in Africa, and then they forget that they need to communicate with these kids.
I have a question. Can everyone here sing?
I can sing a little bit, not much.
Okay, sure. So your child wants to be a singer, and you know he's terrible. Do you support Do you support him?
I will rip the band-aid off and tell you the
Exactly.
art.
You cannot encourage your child to do what he wants to do. You know better than him. He sees something on TV. Oh, I like the glamour, the lights, and everything, and he wants that. But you're like, no, you can't sing.
This is what I have to say about that. As a child, we usually have different dreams with different stage of life.
Yes,
Right?
Yeah.
exactly.
When I was younger, I wanted to be an aeronautic engineer, like a pilot or whatever. It's interesting. And I realized that, bruh, Papa don't get money, Mama don't get money. As an aeronautic engineer, you have to be like really rich. Do you get my point? So, obviously, I needed to tell my mom told me, dude, it's not possible. It's just not possible. We don't have that kind of money. So, different dreams,
different
stage
stages.
of life.
Different stages in life.
I think that the child will grow up to know that, bro, I can't sing.
Exactly.
That's not a problem.
I think what Jane meant is, I can take myself. I am very artsy. Growing up, my room was filled with paint brushes, paint crayons, sketchbooks. And that's what she means. They both
Yeah, I
went into
get
that
you.
direction. Whereas, at some point I thought maybe a writer, maybe a lawyer, but still
Exactly.
my passion was still art. They still pushed me in that direction. Not that, I wanted to be a model and they're like, no, you can't. Because they're honest with me, I can't do that. It's okay. I learned from it and I just took it.
But I feel at the same time, I feel like if your parents told you you can't be a model,
Yeah, actually, I agree with him.
yeah, they've killed it. When they say you can't and you really want to be a model.
Can I tell you something?
African brains didn't like that.
This conversation
Maybe-
is gonna go until the morning.
Exactly. It's
So
really,
funny.
it's an interesting conversation.
I feel like we're gonna get so many views because of
Honestly,
this.
But let's try and put this to an end. 'cause
No, it's
getting-
fine. We're like ending already, basically. But I just wanted to put it out there. Like, I'm gonna say it to the cameras right now and say to parents back home, we should, my point of view, we should be open-minded, like you said, and also balance it. The fact that you were raised in those times and things have changed, you should understand that things have changed and then also raise them like it is right now.
Yeah.
Understand? There should be a balance, basically, and keep the cultural values. That's what I would do.
Culture is
With my
very
children.
important.
What's your religion now?
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
Anyone has anything else to say?
Yeah,
Okay, final note.
I love her.
Okay,
Thank you guys. It was a wrap. It's a wrap.
Always be grateful for what you have. Don't ever think that your situation is permanent. No situation is permanent. Always be hopeful for better and be generous because you have it, most people don't have it. So what you can share, you know? Just be a kind, generous, loving, grateful person and life will come good to you, I believe.